another story, this guy named Tucker. He was in high school. He was on the basketball team. Junior in high school, 16 years old. And one day they had practice. The coach blows the whistle. Everybody gathers up for practice for the coach to give his few little remarks. And the coach says, today, we're going to do something different than what we normally do. I know that you all are used to me blowing the whistle, screaming at you, yelling at you, pointing out your mistakes, because that's what a coach is supposed to do, right? Today, we're going to do something completely different. Today, each one of you is going to go through this whole practice playing basketball, imitating one of your teammates. So whatever your teammate, I'm going to assign each one of you to be one of your teammates today. So make sure you watch that guy, because everything that you do well every day, he's going to do it. And every bad habit you have, every mistake you're always making, they're going to do that too. Now, who is here at this conference with someone who you work with on a day-to-day basis? All right, now don't look at him. So coach goes around the room, 12 people on the basketball team. He's assigning, you are going to be him, you be him, you be him. So he goes through the whole room and he assigns everybody who they're going to imitate all day in practice. Now Tucker, this person telling the story, he is maybe the 12 guys on the team, he's maybe the 8th or 9th guy in the hierarchy in terms of skill on the team. So he's not a very good player. He's a kind of a below average basketball player. But on this particular day, through the luck of the assignment, Tucker gets assigned to be his teammate Mike. Now, who's Mike? No, not Michael Jordan. Mike just happened to be the best player on the team. Leading scorer, future Division I college basketball player. So if I pause the story right there, you tell me, how did Tucker play that day? How did Tucker perform this one day in practice while he's being his teammate Mike? Who thinks Tucker played amazing, out of his mind, unbelievable basketball that one day? Who thinks Tucker played about the same that he always plays, because he is who he is? Who thinks he played worse because he was trying to be somebody that he wasn't and he failed? Or who's not going to vote? Just wait for me to tell the rest of the story. All right. Tucker said he played ball that day better than he had ever played in his life. He was doing all kinds of moves. His teammates are looking at him wide-eyed like, where is this coming from? They'd never seen him do this before. Mind you, they see him every day. He had never done any of this. He's making all kinds of shots. Everybody is shocked. He blew himself away. Tucker's coach, at the end of practice, said, Tucker, if that's what it takes, you need to pretend to be Mike every day. Now, what Tucker had done, he didn't know this, but what he had done is tapped into this third principle that I'm sharing with you. I call it the super you. The super you is still you, but it's you at your highest possible level of confidence. And also, actually, when it comes to that highest level of confidence, you remember what I told you Brandon told me back in 8th grade? Stop playing scared. See, it's like this. Each one of us is kind of like a house. And every skill that we have, every ability is like an extra room in the house. So you can have a 10-bedroom house, you can have a 65-bedroom house, depending on how many skills you have. But when you have these negative energies, fear, anxiety, stress, worry, it's kind of like you lost the key to open up the door to that skill. So it's not like the skill went away, but you just can't access the skill. And this is where we get frustration. You ever get that feeling where I know I can do this, but I keep not doing it? That's what happens when you play scared, as Brandon told me. The super you is when you have a full set of keys and you can open all those doors. But here's the other thing about the super you, and this is the key element to it that matches right in with Tucker's story, is that the super you is the permission you give yourself to not conform to who you have already been up to this point. See, that day when the coach assigned Tucker to be Mike, he gave Tucker permission. You don't have to be Tucker today. Forget everything you've done up to this point and just be this guy all day today. See, it's not that Tucker came up with all these new skills out of nowhere, did he? He didn't just get skills in 5 seconds. He already had these skills, but he also had the permission to not have to worry about conforming to who he had been already. Now, the ending to Tucker's story is that he was unable to maintain it. The next day, he went right back to being Tucker again. Now, for you, how long that super you lasts is completely up to you. It's completely your decision. But how do you actually apply the super you? What if you don't have a coach? What if you're not on the basketball team? What if you don't have a Mike who you're trying to be? You're not trying to be like Mike. How do you apply the super you? I think we're all familiar with this principle we call fake it till you make it, right? You've heard this principle, fake it till you make it. Some people think fake it till you make it is an effective strategy for increasing your confidence. Some people think it is a complete waste of time, doesn't do anything. Maybe you think it makes you worse. But here's the thing about fake it till you make it. The truth about fake it till you make it is that fake it till you make it doesn't even exist as we know it. There's no such thing as faking it until you make it. And here's why. If we look at Tucker's story, when the coach told him to be Mike all day in practice, and he started doing all these amazing moves that he'd never done before, was he doing those moves for pretend, or was he doing them for real? That actually happened. And when he was shooting these shots that he never makes, but he was making them, was the ball going in the basket for fake, or was it going in the basket for real? It was going in the basket for real. So fake it till you make it, there's no faking involved. See, as soon as you make the decision to be someone other than you've been up to this point, it becomes 100% real. Again, it's just a matter of how long are you able to apply it. But what if you're not playing sports? I mean, in sports, it's win, lose, black, white. What if you're in a world where it's not so black and white, it's not always win and lose? How do you apply the super you without being cocky or arrogant or being so confident that you don't exercise caution when you should, and it maybe gets you in trouble? First thing that I tell people is that I tell you two things. One is that human beings are imperfect. I don't believe that there's a such thing as a perfect balance when it comes to confidence. And the other thing is, from my experience of talking to so many people over the last 13 years since I've been online, if you were to give me a random sampling of adults, I don't care where they're from, what they do, male or female, I would always assume, and usually I'm right, that they could use more confidence rather than less. So I'll just let you ask yourself this question, just a little mental experiment you can do for yourself when you think about how you can apply the super you. In the last year or 5 years of your life, how many times have you been too confident, too arrogant, too cocky, went too far, didn't exercise caution when you should have, and got yourself in trouble? And I want you to compare how many times that happened to how many times you didn't go far enough, stopped short, didn't say or do what you wanted to say or do. Years later, you're still kicking yourself about it because you didn't exercise enough confidence. So if you're going to make a mistake, which one do you want to make?